If you're looking for a forex trading strategy that offers you great risk to reward ratio, precise entry timing, quick shield or protection against potential losses, then look no further, guys. You are in the right place. Stick to this video till the end so you don't get to miss out on any of the details. So guys, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So today we are going to be working with indicators like the average directional index. So I'm going to add it to my chart. Now we're moving with parameters like the period 14, style, to pixel, and so the pixels, they don't really matter anyway. The most important thing here are the period and the levels we're going to be working with. So we're working with the levels 25. Okay, you can pick whatever color you want, and then we'll click on done, and then we'll go back to the chart. So this is my average directional index here. This is the average directional index. So we'll go straight to the next indicator we're going to be working with, which is the moving average convergence divergence, just otherwise known as the MACD. So I'm going to add it to the chart. Yeah, so this is the MACD. I'm going to be working with a fast EMA 12, slow EMA 26, MACD SMA 9, apply to close. So yeah, and we don't need any level. There you go. So this is the MACD on the screen here. That's what we have here. Now guys, how does this strategy work? Remember, one of the things I always tell you guys is that since I like doing kind of top-down analysis with 3 different time frames, I always tell you that whenever I make use of the daily H4 and H1, that same strategy can be replicated on the H4, H1 and M15, and even replicated on the H1, M15 and 5 minutes. But I do not advise going down to the lowest time frames like M15, M5 and M1. That would be a little bit too noisy for you to navigate. So guys, the first thing you need to do when you want to take a trade there, now let's go to D1 time frame. Now, this is how the strategy works. The first thing I'll need to do is I come to whichever time frame I want to use as the largest time frame. So in this case, I'm going to be making use of the D1 time frame. What am I supposed to be looking out for? Now, the first thing is for you to ensure, okay, that you're picking a position whereby there's been a run of the MACD. You need to look at the MACD, guys. Whenever there's been a movement of the MACD, from we're looking for a buy signal, remember, from the bottom to the top there's been a movement. Please take note, the bars have moved, the histogram, it has moved from the bottom above the 0 level and started imprinting at the top. So that means that yes, the daily time frame is on an uptrend. So the next thing we're going to need to look out for is we'll move straight to the H4 time frame. And so what am I going to be looking out for? The H4 time frame. On the H4 time frame, I'm going to now come, I need to also ensure that the MACD is above the 0 line. So that's also showing that the H4 time frame corresponds with what I'm doing. Okay, so how am I supposed to take my trade? Now I would also ensure I'll wait for the green, for the green ADX. Please take note, for the green ADX to drop below the red. The green ADX needs to drop below the red for a buy signal. Then as soon as that happens, so I'm going to move my marker here. So as soon as that happens, the next thing I'm going to do is to move over to the H1 time frame. Now on the H1 time frame, when am I supposed to storm into the market? Of course, like I always told you, if you've been following my videos, the MACD is the least time frame you're going to use for your entry, is the only time frame whereby you're permitted to have the MACD on the other side. Okay, so the MACD would need to be at the bottom. Then you need to start watching out for the MACD histogram as it starts reducing in the opposite direction, meaning that the sellers are beginning to lose steam. Okay, then what do? We'll wait for there to be a crossover, an intersection of the ADX. Okay, the ADX, the green one, needs to cut the red one upwards, guys. And guys, just look, just have a look, just have a look at how much you would have made just by following this simple strategy that I'm giving you guys. So just see, this trade would have been held for 2 to 3 days and you would have left the trade with enough money. So what are you supposed to do, guys? Now that this happened, this is where you're supposed to enter the trade, because this is where the intersection happened. So you would have entered here and then you place your stop loss just here, okay, just below this last red candle. That's where you place your stop loss and then you take your profit there. You're going to be targeting this high, the last high that was created. Okay, so let me look at it from the H1 time frame. So you see it's still a lot of pips, guys. So this is where you're going to be targeting. Okay, you're going to be targeting this high. You're going to be targeting this high, guys. Yes, that's a high you should be targeting. Yeah, so you're going to be targeting this high. That is where you should take as your profit target. Of course, with a lot more experience, you would know how to be able to navigate these kind of trades to be able to come to levels like this. Okay, yeah, so that is it, guys. That is it. I just needed to show you this. So we go straight to looking at another. Let's look out for a sell setup. Let's look out for a sell setup. Now for a sell setup, okay, this is even my H1 time frame to show you that what I usually say works. The combinations work on all time frame. Remember, the first thing I said is that you need to look out for a movement of the MACD, okay, from the top to the bottom if you're looking out for a sell. Okay, so as soon as the histogram drops to the bottom, then you know that the sell trend has been confirmed on the H4 time frame. Okay, so what do I need to do? Then I move straight to the H1 time frame. Okay, I move straight to the H1 time frame, and on the H1 time frame, sorry, yeah, so on the H1 time frame, I'll wait for the, like I said, I'll wait for the MACD to drop below, sorry, the ADX, okay, to drop below. The red needs, this time needs to drop below the green one, because we're looking for a sell setup. The red needs to drop below the green one, and as soon as it drops, of course, with my MACD still showing below, still below the zero line on the H1 time frame, then I'll move straight to the M15 time frame. Now on the M15 time frame, what am I looking out for? Simple. That's the only time frame, firstly, that I told you that the MACD is permitted to be in the other direction. Okay, that's one. Then number two, I'm going to enter when there's an intersection of the red to the green upwards in the upward direction, guys. So this is where you would have stormed into the trade, guys. The second red candle. So you would have placed your stop loss just above the high here. Okay, and then have a target of this. You target just the low there. So guys, look at what happened. See how far the market dropped. Okay, so this is a very simple strategy. The market dropped further than where we would have even made use of as our target. This is where we would have targeted. Okay, however, the market dropped and continued dropping, and these are trades that a lot more experience in the market would help you know how to handle such situations. So guys, this is it. It is a very simple strategy. Okay, and also one very important thing that you need to take note of is as soon as the trade moves in your favor from the entry time frame that you're making use of, okay, as soon as the trade moves and the ADX drops to the next point, sorry, not the ADX, as soon as your MACD on the entry time frame start imprinting in the other direction, please and please, I want for you to move your stop loss to break even. Now that's going to help protect your capital. That's going to protect your capital, and you discover that with this you're not going to be living with any loss at all. You can take 20 trades with this strategy and still come out with 20 blue trades. Okay, so guys, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and if you're a first time on this channel, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you get notified each time we post a new video on this channel.